Okay, this is the fourth video about how to make the Pong computer game. Now in this game, we're going to program the ball so when it comes into contact with the bats, it'll bounce off. So, to start off with, make sure you've got your ball sprite selected, and just to keep up with good practice, I'm going to rename my sprite to call it ball. Okay, so there you go, so I've got my ball there, so make sure you've got your ball selected. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to create what's called an if statement. And what an if statement says, if something happens, if a condition is met, do something. So we want to set it up so if the ball touches our bat, we want the ball to bounce off. So we're going to do this by setting up an if statement. So we need to go to control because the ifs are in there, so I'm going to drag out my if. Okay, we need to do our sensing because we need to say what condition we want this to happen. So we want it when touching, so if touching, and we're going to do this for bat 1. Now what we want our ball to do is we want our ball to bounce off, so we need to say where we want it to be. So we want it to point in direction. Now we want it to be 360 degrees because obviously we want it to spin right round and travel in the opposite direction, and we want to make it a little bit interesting. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to put in a little operator which will take away 360 minus the direction it was already travelling in. So what I need to do here, keep that box up and go back to motion and minus the direction it's already travelling in. Okay, now what I'm going to do, because we're going to use this script twice, I'm going to right click and I'm going to duplicate it. Okay, and I'm going to attach it to the bottom here, and all I need to change is I'm going to change it from bat 1 to bat 2. So we've got it now set up so if it hits bat 1 it will bounce off in the opposite direction, if it hits bat 2 it will bounce off in the opposite direction. Now we need to drag our script in and we want it to be just above here. Okay, so I'm going to test it now, and hopefully if this has worked correctly we should be able to play Pong. Okay, so it's just about working. Okay, so that is the end, sorry my battery's about to run out. That is the end of video 4. When you've got to this stage you should now have a playable game. But this is where we start to get even more complicated because we are in the next tutorial going to start to add a score.